Hi, everybody. My name is Nathan. I'm a percussionist and freelancer and music educator based in Toronto. And I just wanted to take a minute to talk about a series of music education books that I recently wrote and released. So the series is called Dots and Beams, and it's basically a set of 6 books of music reading material that's designed to be, first of all, great sight reading material, but also it's designed to be flexible enough to be used with many exercises beyond just sight reading for many different learning goals, for many different difficulty levels, and on basically any Western instrument. So the idea here is that it's reading materials that you can use to create exercises around. You can create exercises around these materials for yourself or for your students to help you practice whatever musical concepts or ideas that you happen to be working on at any given time. So there's a wide enough range of difficulty levels that they're great for beginner sight reading practice, or they can be used in a different context with professionals to develop any number of different musical skills and ideas that they might want to hone in on. So the collection itself is 6 books, but there's 3 different series within it. There's a pitch only series, a rhythm only series, and a pitch and rhythm series. So the pitch only series focuses just on notes. So there's no reference to rhythm, there's no time signature, there's no rhythm values, there's no stems on the notes, there's no bar lines, nothing like that. It's just stemless notes on various points on the staff. So early exercises are just notes on the staff, and then as the book progresses, there's different exercises expanding up the ledger lines to quite high and down the ledger lines to quite low. So you've got a very wide range to work with. There's also exercises with no accidentals, so it's just all white notes or uninflected notes, and there's exercises that are fully chromatic, so you can practice either or. Within both sets, the chromatic or the diatonic sets, there's a space at the beginning of each staff where you can put in any key signature, and here's where the flexibility comes in, is that any of these materials can be read in any of the key signatures, in any major mode, any minor mode, any of the other modes, your Dorian, your Mixolydian, whatever. They can be recontextualized for any of that stuff. So instead of just reading it one time, you can read it 30 different ways. So it's really, really flexible in that sense. So it's great for this particular series is great for note reading, understanding different key signatures, practicing reading ledger lines, sometimes up to 5 ledger lines in the treble clef, or down to 4 ledger lines in the bass clef. It's quite a wide range. And they can help you practice chords and harmony if you start getting into different exercises beyond just reading them. The rhythm only series, which I have here, is another 2-book set, and these are just rhythms on a single pitch in increasing difficulties. So it starts off quite simple, just quarter notes and eighth notes, but it expands out to include basically every possible subdivision of the beat using 16th notes and 8th notes. This is another 2-book series. There's book 1 and book 2. Book 1 is levels 5 to 10. Book 2 is levels 1 to 5, sorry, and book 2 is levels 6 to 10. So it's a 10 difficulty level system. Every difficulty level has exercises in 6 different common time signatures. So there's 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. So those are simple meters. There's 6/8, 9/8, and 12/8. So those are compound meters. So there's tons of different ways to read rhythms, tons of different exercises to develop your understanding of rhythm. Like I said, these explore just 8th and 16th notes, so they don't have any triplets, they don't have any quintuplets. They just explore all of the different ways you can use 8th and 16th notes to break a beat up, and it's really quite comprehensive. So these are great for practicing reading and understanding and being able to play different rhythms. They're good for developing your sense of time, your sense of rhythm. There's tons of metronome games that you can play with these to really get a lot out of it. And you can apply them to different exercises like scales and that sort of thing. The final series is the pitch and rhythm series, and I have these here. Again, it's a 2-book set. There's treble clef and bass clef. And these basically combine the 2 previous series. So it's the same rhythmic structure as you had in the rhythm only series, only now instead of on a single pitch, it's on different notes. Just like in the pitch only series, it starts with notes just on the staff, but it gradually expands outward to the ledger lines. All of the exercises in these books are diatonic, with the space at the beginning to add a key signature. So you can do all of these in all of the different key signatures. Unlike other sight reading books, which are sort of a collection of pieces that you just read the piece and then you're done, these can be reused over and over, and by changing the context of it, the key signature or whatever, you're expanding the usefulness of it. You can really use each page 30 some times and still find some useful way to use it. So that's a really beneficial way to thing about these books, is that you can really reuse the materials. So these ones are great. The pitch and rhythm series are great for sight reading, for practicing key signatures, key changes. Coordination exercises can be brought into it. You can, pencil in repeats. You can pencil in sharp sevens and do it in the minor modes. There's a lot you can do with those. So each book is pretty big. Each book has over 100 exercises, and they're full page exercises. So that really gives you tons of material. In this whole collection, there's, I think, between 600 and 700 full pages of exercises. So there's tons to work with. You'll never run out, especially if you're using each page, 30, 40 different ways. There's tons of material. And like I said, the idea of the material is that it's all open-ended. So you can come up with different exercises that are beneficial depending on where you are. Obviously, the first and most beneficial thing you can do is learn fluency in reading and playing music. And that's where it's really good for beginners. It really can start them from very basic and get them to far more advanced sight reading and the ability to process notes and rhythms on a staff and produce them on your instrument is the first place to start. But once you have that fluency, then you can apply it across the board to a whole bunch of different exercises. And the more fluent you are in reading, the more challenge you can build into it in different ways, using the same materials that your students are using. You're just recontextualizing it in a different way. So yeah, tons of different ways you can use it, and different exercises and ways you can benefit from it. It's really up to you, the player or the teacher, to come up with these exercises that can really be helpful for yourself or for your students. So to help you guys get the ball rolling on that, I know it's weird to just give reading materials and say, make it up. To help you get the ball rolling and figure out different ways that you can use these, over the course of the next few days, I'm going to start recording and releasing videos of myself just demonstrating some of these different ways you can use them, because there's so many different ways, and there's a lot that you might not think of, and there's a lot that one instrument might really benefit from that another instrument wouldn't even think of. I gave them to a guitarist, and he said it was a great way to practice different positions on the fingerboard, and as a percussionist, that's not something I would have thought of, but it's a great exercise for guitarists. So across the board, depending on your instrument, there's lots of different ways you can use them, and I'm going to show you some of the ways that I've come up with in the next few days and few weeks. So how do you get your hands on these? These are available in ebook format on my website, dotsandbeams.com, as well as on Google Play Books. You can download them, and as well as on Sheet Music Plus. They're available in digital format that way. There's print versions available as well. You can buy those on my website as well. That's dotsandbeams.com. They're also available on Amazon and at Remini House of Music here in Toronto. And the paperback versions are only available for the rhythm only and the pitch and rhythm series. The pitch only series is going to be coming out in print hopefully in the next week or two. I just finished them and just sent it off to the printer to get it finalized. So you should be seeing those coming up very soon. So that's all. You'll be hearing more from me in the next few days with videos, demonstrations, different ways to use these books. If you have any questions or any ideas, please feel free to reach out. You can reach out through social media, and I'm on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. You can email me through the website. You can go there and hit the contact me button. You can put comments in this video or whatever you want to do. If you have any questions that you want me to address, I can do that. If you have any ideas that you want me to sort of demonstrate for exercises, please feel free, because I know that you guys, once it gets out to the world, are going to come up with way more exercises than I could come up with on my own. So yeah, that's all. Thanks for listening. You'll be hearing from me in the next few days. Cheers.